Hi, my name is Nicholaus. I'm a business analyst at Google. Some people call me Klaus. It's kind of an interesting nickname that I picked up, mostly because my name has a U in it, so it's Nicholaus. I'm responsible for reporting business metrics to leads, very specifically operations within Google. So anything that has to do with inventory, anything that has to do with IT interactions, anything that has to do with platform health, et cetera, et cetera. I also do a lot of machine learning type work. So I do a lot of advanced analytics and trying to figure out how we can apply machine learning and AI to find good opportunities within the business to optimize. I grew up in Santa Cruz, California. I struggled in school. Did not like school whatsoever. School was not for me. Had a troubling home life. The result of that was me dropping out of school very early, roughly around 15, 16 years old. Started washing dishes. I was part of a program that a chef was doing at a hospital, local hospital. Great guy, Chef Sean, and he was working with juvenile kids who were at-risk youth, in and out of the juvenile system, et cetera. And he was teaching them how to do culinary arts work. I found myself at 21, 22 years old, feeling a little bit like, I didn't have a choice in the career path that I had chosen. And I wanted to try something different. I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. Maybe I'll try to go back to school just to see what happens. And at the time I wanted to be a writer. And I said, maybe I'll be a writer. I'll tell my story. And then I changed my mind. That's the wonderful thing about schools. You can change your mind and you can really just, try on different things. So maybe I'll be a nurse because I really wanted to help people. I took a class called Mathematics for Healthcare Professionals. And the professor in the class said, hey, you seem to have a real aptitude for this. I was able to get a full scholarship to go to New York University, where I double majored in math and computer science. Especially at these types of schools like NYU, these private universities, it was very atypical for someone to be an undergraduate and be my age. I remember a couple of times I was mistaken for either a professor or DoorDash delivery person, especially with all the tattoos. I stuck out like a sore thumb in there. I arrived at Google in 2016. I moved from New York City to Mountain View at the time. And I was arriving with a very different tool set and a very, very different set of life experiences that the rest of my colleagues had. And that really allowed me to really shine. I think a lot of people that I've met here within the company actually have a lot of interesting stories. And it's actually those interesting stories that makes them qualified to be Googlers. My org is related to the cloud somewhat indirectly, but we do use our data warehouse is primarily built with cloud tools. So I use cloud tools kind of constantly, as they apply to business internals within Google. Depending on what you're into, depending on what you like. If you like to work with massive data sets, there's a place for you in cloud. If you like to work on use cases and be interfacing with customers and understanding how you can apply cloud tools within a business, embedded in a business, there's a place for you. If you like to work in an advanced analytics space and want to deploy huge scalable machine learning algorithms, there's a place for you. The cloud ecosystem and the cloud universe is really large. And I think if you find a place, if you find something that's interesting to you, that gives you that spark, you can have a really great career. I think that anybody who's going through the process is obviously thinking about, okay, what is the next step for me, right? If I'm going to do this, if I'm going to sacrifice my time to do this certificate, how is this going to affect my future? And I guess what I would say is that the certificate itself is going to not only give you some sort of artifact that's going to unlock a lot of doors for you when someone from Google or someone from a business is looking at trying to assess your skills, but it's also going to open a door for you. It's also going to start to expose you to subject matter that you might not be familiar with before. And that exposure itself is worth something. That exposure to new concepts and new ideas, because it's very associative. I didn't start with a computer science degree, right? I started with something totally different. And through being open and through exposure to new ideas, I found my way to what I do now, which is data science work and business analytics work. It was only through giving myself that freedom to be exposed to new things that allowed me to find my way to something that I'm truly passionate about today.